What's up, guys? This is your favorite all-American freedom-loving gamer, and today we're addressing some deeper aspects to the whole Activision boycott, whether or not it is successful, and why we as a society must stop giving money to corporations that absolutely hate us, hate our families, and everything that we stand for. So, I do want to remind you that you can follow me over on Rumble right now. That's where I live stream. I do not send that over to YouTube. Recently, YouTube has just lowered their monetization standards. They have also eased up on their censorship. So that is an absolute clear indication that alternative tech like Rumble is, encroaching on their territory, and they have been for the last couple months. And Rumble, while they're not where YouTube is right now, they are quickly gaining in that market. They've been getting new features, new ways to spread content, and it's growing faster and faster. That's why I'm a part of that community over there. Please join me over on Rumble. I would definitely appreciate it. And if not, hey, drop a sub here, drop a like, and comment down below what you think of today's video. But let's get back to the situation at hand. So, just in case you've been living under a rock, here's a quick recap. We're not spending much time on this because everybody kind of knows, but Nick Merks duly earned a skin in the Call of Duty store, which is kind of the height, absolute height of your gaming career, that you would have a skin that looks like you in the Call of Duty store. But unfortunately, that was quickly revoked. He had it for like a week or two, and Activision revoked it just because of one tweet that Nick sent out reacting to a fight outside of a school board meeting pertaining to if elementary school kids should be exposed to the LGBTQIXRZ agenda. What did he say? What did he say that would be so horrifically offensive? He said, leave the kids alone. That's it. Leave the kids alone. That's all, and that's what most people are thinking here. Just leave the kids alone. You want to do what you want to do in your bedroom, that's fine, but leave my kids out of it. They're not your kids, they're our kids. They're not the government kids, they belong to the parents. Joe Biden just put out a tweet the other day that got completely wrecked by Elon Musk saying, these are our kids collectively. And Elon said, no, they're not your kids, they're not the government's kids, these are our kids, talking about the parents. There have been a lot of developments on this story since then over the past week, and you can look at my previous videos if you want to get completely up to speed. But today, we're going to address, why we have to stop giving money to Activision. I'm going to give my reasoning, but I'm also going to list out some reasons as to why Activision is just such an absolutely horrible company. And I'm not just talking about bad business practices. I'm not just talking about not listening to the fans. Not even talking, getting rid of the modding community, but I'm talking absolutely immoral acts that go far beyond business practices. And I've had this conversation with a couple people since then. I've seen on Twitter saying, well, you know what, and say it with pride too. That's the thing that's really concerning is, well, I am not going to allow someone else's actions to keep me from having fun. And they feel like that is some kind of grand independent stance. But here's the thing. Child sex trafficking is like 2 or 3 times bigger than the airline industry these days. And as men, which I think 97% of my audience is, there has to be a time where you say, I can no longer in good faith give my money or my time or my attention to this corporation that does X, Y, and Z. And of all the corporations we've talked about, Budweiser, Target, Disney, and Activision, Activision is probably one of the worst offenders, up there with Disney. And I've asked several people this exact same question. If pushing back against parents who don't want their kids to learn about sexual things at such a young age, if grooming children is not enough to make you stop giving money to a corporation, what is? And they never have an answer, and the reason they don't have an answer is because there's nothing that a corporation would do to keep them from giving them money. Nothing. And it's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad state of affairs. I am very glad that the men who stormed Normandy were not of that mindset, because we would have an entirely different nation right now. I'm glad the men in 1776 did not have that mindset. There was an air of duty, of responsibility. And here's the thing. Because of those men that gave everything, we have the freedom to not have to give our lives. I can say, hey, you need to stand up, be a man, and boycott Activision. Well, you know what? It doesn't even take the calories, the effort to stand up and be a man to boycott Activision, to stop giving Activision money, to stop, drinking Budweiser, to stop going to Target, to turning off your Disney Plus subscription. It's not like you're doing something on a grand scale or something that is hugely, insignificant just for one person. But even if you say, well, a boycott's not going to work anyways, well, even if it doesn't work, are you okay giving your money to these corporations that hate you? Let's look a little bit into Activision. Okay, so, they've been in headlines for probably the past 3 or 4 years over some really, really terrible shit. Most of it was the sexual harassment in the workplace, the cubicle crawls where, the male employees would get drunk, and this is probably the only way that they could even come up to a girl and talk to her is if they were completely wasted, crawling on the ground, and sexually harassing them. I know there was a big story about breast milk going missing from the lactation rooms because male employees were going in and stealing it. Like, what kind of little creeps are you guys? And it permeates that hasn't been fixed, and we know it hasn't because Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, is on Jeffrey Epstein's little black book. He went to Epstein's island, an island where unspeakable acts have been committed on children. That's why Activision has such a problem with it, because their CEO has no problem with grooming, has no problem with that. And on top of this, as if they weren't in the headlines enough, they've pissed off an entire modding community. They charge absolute full price for these games, of these old games. Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, you still got to pay like $45-$60 for these. And then an additional $15 for every single DLC after that. It is absolutely greedy and atrocious. EA, who is an awful company as well, they charge $10 for Battlefield 4, $10 to $15 for Battlefield 1, and there's still a good community over there. They do not attack their modding community. But recently, Activision shut down SM2, and they shut down X-Labs. X-Labs was the only way that you could still go back and play Modern Warfare 2, the original OG Modern Warfare 2, without getting into a lobby full of hackers, without being at risk for losing everything, having your IP address leaked, having your bank account stolen. They do not care about these previous titles. If you're not giving them money right now, they don't care. And I think that's probably what's going to happen later on is, just this big revolving door. It's these live service games. Well, we had live service at one point, but we're not doing that service now. We're doing the next thing that's making us money. Everything that's making us money right now. Because now the gaming industry is full of marketers. They're no longer gamers. They're not gamers. They don't care about the gaming community. They care about making money. They've been getting ratioed on Twitter. Activision has completely ratioed, called out as groomers. Every single comment in some of their tweets is leave the children alone. They don't care about that. All they care about is money, and that's why we have got to stop giving them money. Hit them where it hurts. Starve them out. That goes for Budweiser, Target, Disney, and Activision as well. So Activision blocks X-Defiant News, who's not even the real X-Defiant official page, and they're afraid of it. That is the one game that may be giving them some competition, so they want to shut that conversation down. And that's just one indication of the wokeness that has permeated Activision. We can't have a discussion about things. We have to shut down the other side, not let them speak, because if we let them speak, we lose. And like I said before, they shut down the modding community, SM2. Now, Activision giveth, the Activision lords, they giveth and they taketh away. They take away X-Labs, they take away the old Modern Warfare 2, and then they said, well, we're going to be so benevolent and gift you this. For $20-$40, you can put sound effects that were from the original Modern Warfare 2 game into the new one for that nice hit of nostalgia. Screw you, Activision. We've already had an entire modding community that built upon what you did, who was filling a role, filling a need that you are refusing to fill, And now you're going to go shut them down. Plutonium may be next. I hope that's not the case. And of course, they use manipulative business practices. You know, if you want to go in and buy COD points, and let's say there's something that 800, 900 COD points. Well, you can only buy them in batches of 1,100. So you do that, you got 200 or 300 left over. Well, the next thing you want to get is 500, but you can only buy 1,100 COD points at one time. So then you have to buy all those, and it's this revolving door. You never can spend all of your COD points because of the way things are structured. That is deceptive. They also sided with China back in the day. I think it was a couple years ago. There was that esport player said free Hong Kong, and they're like, no, absolutely not. We're going to take away your tournament winnings. You're done. And the United States Congress had to get involved for them to reverse the decision. Like, there has to be a point. I want to ask you, tell me in the comments below, if you are not boycotting Activision now, what would it take? What would they have to do to make it morally reprehensible for you to spend your time, to spend your money on this corporation? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble about this entire thing. I hope you enjoyed, at least knowing that you are not alone. If you're a conservative gamer, this channel is for you. We are building things, especially on Rumble. Come follow me over on Rumble. I would definitely appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below about how you are boycotting Activision, whether that be, you know, maybe you're still playing the game, but you're not spending money. Maybe you want to see these guys go under. Maybe you're like me, and you don't want that player count to go one more higher just because you hopped on. That's what I want. I want their player counts to absolutely tank. I want to see their stocks. I want to see them go out of business. And I want to see Bobby Kotick, if he is convicted of the things on Jeffrey Epstein's island, I want to see him in jail. I really do. Anyways, guys, we're going on 12 minutes here. I definitely appreciate your time. Y'all have a blessed day, and drop a sub, drop a like, join me on Rumble. We definitely appreciate it. Happy gaming. Hit you good. Out.